Welcome to meditation. Please adopt an alert but relaxed posture. And I invite you to close your eyes, but of course you may keep them open if you wish. If you do keep them open, I suggest that you slightly unfocus your eyes and just stare ahead and downwards, so that you're not staring at anything in particular, just a restful, relaxed gaze. But if you wish, close your eyes. Now I invite you to do yourself the service of existing just in this place at this moment in time. Recognizing that there's no need for your body to be here while your mind is elsewhere. That you can be completely here and now. That any thoughts can wait for later. Any chores can wait for later. So for these precious moments, just being here and being now and experiencing what life is when you simply be. You just are. And to explore what it is just to be without having to do. Exploring that first of all through the senses. Accepting what you can hear. Listening intently. But notice that there's no need to react to anything you can hear. You can just let things be. There's a difference between perceiving and reacting. And maybe you can increase the distance between those things. Become less reactive, less judgmental. Just an observer, a listener. So accepting sounds far away, sounds nearby. Sounds of your own body. You may even like to make a mental note that any sound you hear can remind you to relax more deeply. And similarly, the quality of the light, perhaps beyond your closed eyelids, in the room in which you are. And the quality of the air, how it feels, what it's like to breathe. Just noticing and allowing things to be. Now I invite you to take your attention to the soles of the feet. You're not trying to produce any effects, you're just paying a gentle attention, curious to notice sensation. And also to notice what happens when you pay attention. The sensations increase or decrease. You notice things that you didn't suspect. Just paying attention to the soles of the feet, from the heels, the middle of the feet, tips of the toes, also between the toes. Working your way along the outline of your foot, along the edges. Then with the tops of your feet, the tops of the toes, the instep, the ankle, noticing how warm or cool your feet and your ankles are, whether one foot is more or less relaxed than the other one. Again, just being curious, not trying to change things, not judging, just paying gentle attention. The observer. And working the way up the shins and the calves, feeling your way up the legs, noticing the fabric of your clothing, how that feels against your skin. Maybe you can feel the fabric of your clothing stretching over your knees. Then into the thighs, feeling your way through the knees into the thighs. And if you're sat in a chair, noticing the areas of pressure and support, how that affects the temperature. And working your way along your thighs to your hips, and to the pelvis, and into the lower abdomen and the tummy. And now noticing, if you soften those tummy muscles, how the tummy gently moves with the breath. Again, you're not trying to adjust the breath in any way, you're just letting it be. Noticing how the body breathes, how the tummy moves, how the sides of the body move. Even the lower back is given a little nudge each time you breathe in, and settles back each time you breathe out. Now feeling the way up the body, up the ribs, the abdomen, the back. Feeling your way up to the solar plexus, under the arch of the ribs, in the middle of the body. The level of the diaphragm, just experiencing that area for a moment. How that sheet of muscle that separates the abdomen from the chest cavity, how it moves to draw in the breath and then relaxes to release the breath, all on its own. See if you can experience that now. And then coming up into the chest, the lungs, heart. And maybe if you can listen very carefully or feel your way into the chest, as it were, looking in internally. Maybe you can start to experience the heartbeat and the breathing in a new way. Give yourself a chance to do that now. And rising up to the shoulder blades, top of the chest, the collarbones, over the shoulders. Just noticing if the shoulders are hunched at all or if they're completely relaxed. Again, you needn't try to change anything, just paying attention to that. And then allowing your attention to flow down the arms. Noticing the biceps and the triceps, the upper arms. Trying to feel your way into the bones and the marrow and the muscle. Flowing down for the elbows, into the forearms. Feeling your way along the forearms to the wrists. Into the hands. The way along the fingers, the fingertips. Now some people, when they pay attention, begin to notice tingling in the fingertips. That's very normal. Some people notice areas of warmth or coolness. if areas of the body are changing in temperature. Again, this is very normal, very usual, may or may not happen, because all of us have a different response when we pay attention to our bodies. Because just paying attention tends to produce a relaxation response. The capillaries expand and blood flows. Sensations occur. You can just be curious as you bring your attention back to the base of the neck and rising up the neck, back of the neck, the sides and the throat, the back of the head, the middle of the head, scalp, allowing that scalp to smooth, the muscles of the forehead and the temples to smooth around the eyes, jaw, and now the whole body sat or lying where you are, experiencing it as a whole from head to feet. Just here, just now, breathing naturally. Just experiencing this moment. And paying particular attention to the breath. Sensation at the tip of the nose, in the nostrils and the sinuses, in the throat, in the chest and in the abdomen. And notice that if you soften around the path of the breath, the whole body is involved, being gently rocked, gently moved by the breath. So holding that in a steady stream of awareness, the body, here now, all its sensory experiences, gently breathing. And as you do this, you might notice if thoughts arise or feelings, memories, desires, distractions. What I'd like you to notice is you haven't got to get involved with those. You can imagine those thoughts and feelings as sticks and leaves floating past on a stream, but you are the observer sat on the bank. You can allow them to come and you can allow them to go. So just in the same way as you notice bodily sensations without judgment, just noticing that they're there, and where you notice the rhythm of the breath. So now you can pay attention to any thought or feeling that arises in your mind. You can just notice it's there and you can let it go. If you should become involved with a thought or a feeling and then you notice that you're having an internal dialogue with it, it means you become distracted. So at that point, just become aware that that's the case. Be curious as to what had the strength to draw you away, and then come back to just being here and now. Don't inject any tension. Don't get angry or anxious. Just something else to notice, to be mindful of. That you're learning that you haven't got to become involved with everything that arises in your mind. It's just stuff that comes and goes. You're practicing being the observer. Slightly detached, one step back, sat on the bank, allowing the sticks and the leaves to float past. Keeping the awareness present with the body, aware of the bodily sensations from head to foot, aware of the sensation of the breath, aware of the quality of the light and of the sounds, aware of the quality of the mind space, of the stream of consciousness, which just flows all on its own, but you are the observer. If any bodily sensation should draw your attention because it's particularly intense, or any particular thought or feeling draw your attention because that's intense, just be curious to notice that. Maybe live with it for a while, not debating with it or analysing it, but just letting it be on centre stage for a little while. And then when it's ready, it can move on out of awareness and you can remain still. You deal with it not by debate, not by analysis, but just by letting it be if it needs to be. That's good. Drawing your attention back into the body. Reconnecting with the sensation of the chair or the bed on which you are, the mat perhaps on which you're lying, the sensation of clothing against your skin, or awareness of the place where you are. That's good. And if you wish to continue awareness of the stream of consciousness, you can, but in a moment you'll hear the bowl again, listening to that tone until it fades, and then if you're ready to end this meditation, when the tone of the bowl fades away, I invite you to open your eyes.